snuck up on us, even though we had plenty of time. Good morning. Welcome to it. It's the Plan B Morning Show. Brock and soon to be Hunter. We are. Oh, there he is. Hey, there we go. Hey, all right. There we go.
Nice.
I got a weird part in my. Oh, I mullet it up again. Look at.
Oh my God!
Wow. Look at that.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at that mullet. Sorry, if
you're
on
the stream, for some reason, it doesn't look terrible on you.
No, it does. So it's better when my hair is actually kind of fixed,
All right. Hey, I'm going to say something. And you don't take offense to it. All right. You resemble Theo Vaughn a lot.
I'll take it.
So you didn't like Theo Vaughn in the beginning. You're starting to like him now, aren't you?
Yeah. No, what? I'm still not like huge. I don't think his stand-up is very good, but he's one of those. It's the same thing with Rogan. Like, I don't like Joe Rogan's stand-up. I don't think
I'm kind of right there with you. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not what his podcast is.
No, it's same thing with Theo Vaughn is I'm really not a fan of his stand-up. I don't think it's that good, but his podcast and just how he is, like him off of it, is way better.
Yeah, I agree.
Kevin Hart, don't like his stand-up, love his movies. You know what I mean? So
you know who's back in it right now that I'm the outlier on this one. I understand that. And I don't know what it is. Cat Williams. I can't get into Cat Williams.
I can't stand Cat Williams. And
I've given him so many shots. Yep. And I'm just like, in my one buddy is just up in arms. Loves him to death.
To be fair, we're not Cat Williams demographic. I will say that. And I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that.
No, but it
there's
a lot of comedians that I'm not their demographic, that I still understand the comedy and I can still kind of get around it and be like, yeah, that's pretty funny. I can see why people think that's funny.
I'm saying more than likely his comedy isn't geared towards, white guys from the Midwest. That's kind of where I see it.
No, I disagree, because I love Kings of Comedy. I love love Chappelle. I think Kevin Hart's pretty damn funny a lot of times.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. And I don't even, you don't have to bring any of that into it. It's when a comedian starts yelling at you. And I feel like that's his whole shtick, is he's always yelling.
He does get worked up.
Relax.
He does get worked up on stage. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know what it reminds me of? Chappelle doing Reggie and Nutty Professor. Kick a field goal, Reggie. He's always,
it's too much.
It's too much. Settle down. Yeah. I mean, I understand that we're terrible and we're too much. And I'm not sitting here to.
You don't need to bring us in. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you don't like a certain comedian, because I am the same way too. Also, that's why I'm not a huge fan of the guy you really like. He does all the voices.
Pablo Francisco.
Because he's just blah 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 blah.
Pablo is in your face for sure.
Right.
And you know what though? Pablo, I still think he's funny, but not as funny as when I first saw it.
Very talented. And if we're talking about comedians, we'll go down this path. Like Dane Cook, I still really enjoy, even his old stuff. And he has been just
too much for me.
Hammered. See, and I really like Dane Cook. I saw him live. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah.
See, I think Dane Cook would be better live. But even as much as I like Pablo Francisco, Dane Cook was too much for me.
And he does have those moments. He is very intense.
In comedy. Look at me talking like I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm giving pointers out there. Let me get this straight.
Let me tell you, I'm basically Jerry Seinfeld. All right.
For me, you got to use swearing in the right spots. If you just dropping the F-bomb to drop the F-bomb,
that's why
it's a filler.
Ralphie May,
too much.
Ralphie May's funniest stand-up was when he was on Last Comic
Standing.
Because he couldn't just say every other word. Too much.
Exactly. 100%.
Yep.
And it's like if you're too old. See, I like Pablo though, and I did like Pablo. There's some comedians where you're using your mannerisms and being over exaggerant to make up for the lack of comedy.
Yeah. Yep.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure. You know who's not good at stand-up? Kevin James. I love Kevin James, but his stand-up is terrible. It's so generic and bland that, and I love him. I love Kevin James, though. He's the king of Queens forever, but his stand-up, he just released a special. It's like, ugh. And, you know, I also, too, Jim Gaffigan. There's another one. I love Jim Gaffigan, but he, like, signed this multi-deal contract with Netflix. And it's almost getting like worse because he's just like, well, I got to pump out all these jokes.
Yeah, once you have to pump them out, that's when it starts to kind of go downhill a little bit in some cases. With Jim Gaffigan, I think you're right, but I will say Jim Gaffigan's whatever his first Netflix special was, I cried.
Oh yeah,
literally cried. I was laughing so hard. He's one of those guys it'll go like 2 or 3 levels deep into a joke, much like Larry the Cable Guy. Larry the Cable Guy will hit you with a joke and it'll be like, oh, that was hilarious. But then it'll go 2, 3. He'll hit you with the second and the third. And dude, by that time, it's hard to get back. Like,
good news for us. We don't even get the first joke. That's the best part about us. Yeah. You'll have plenty of time to wait for that punchline with Brock and Hunter. That's how that goes.
You know?
You notice how we didn't bring up any female comedians, and there's a reason. Females aren't funny. Moving on.
Dude. Yes, they are. There are a few ones out there, man.
I'm a big fan of Paula Poundstone. All right, that's
have you seen the female comic who does the Jim Carrey impression?
She's good. She's good.
She's great. And she does other comedy too. If you get on her like Instagram or whatever, because I was curious. I'm like, is it you just doing Jim Carrey impressions? No, she's pretty funny.
Should I admit something here? I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't. So you know we do our laugh break, right? We do our comic of the day, right? We do our stand up for a minute. If I have a choice between a male comic and a female comic, I always pick the male comic. If it's 2 females, I'll go with the female. But in the download area, maybe I'll look. It's just guys are funny, and there's more funny guy comedians than there are women comedians. And again, though, too, I also understand I'm not in their demographic.
This is not a comedy tip. This is not going to help you with your routine, Brock. This is just a life tip, a pro tip. You don't have to admit that. Nobody asked you. You don't say that.
Okay, you just hey, you're thinking it. I'm the bad guy because I admit it, huh? Huh?
No, there's just some things you don't admit. Just leave that one.
I didn't say women aren't funny. I said they're not as funny as men. And
Amy Schumer's not funny.
Right there. I can only hear so many jokes about vaginas. All right. In a stand-up. And again, though, I'm a dude, though. I'm not going for that. Women find women
has their own taste. Yeah. You know who I think is absolutely effing hilarious. But not that funny and stand up at all for me for some reason. And it's wild because I love this guy so much. Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I don't find his stand up that funny. I don't know what it is because, why people don't like Jim Carrey in the movies is why I don't like him as a stand up comedian. It's too much. He's all over the place. And I get it. It's kind of the shtick
and everything. Yeah.
Way better in movies.
Oh, for sure.
Way better in movies.
Yep.
Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
I like how you moved on from my women comment. You took it.
That's what I'm here for. I'm saving you.
We were having a good conversation.
Thank me for that.
Who's my favorite comic? Man, I don't know.
It's a tough one.
I really like John Mulaney. Until he got I'm happy that he's no longer on the drugs, but he also there was that point where he was really bad in the drugs and he just kind of became an unsavory guy. And so I kind of moved on from him. Nate Bargatze is funny. Hilarious. Yeah, Nate Bargatze is right up there.
Yeah.
Dan Soder's really good.
You know, a lot of people are going to say right now,
what?
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. He's a new.
Shane Gillis is hilarious.
I'm just getting into him. He's only got one stand-up special I've seen, other than the other little clips.
Yeah. Shane Gillis is great.
Kyle. Oh my God. Redheaded guy. He's got a funny bit about gout, and he's got some really good stuff. Why can't I think of his name? Kyle. That's the hard part too. Is you hear stuff like I'll listen to like a comedy serious channel, and
you know what's hard for me to do is click on Netflix comedy specials because I've had a few that disappointed me that people absolutely loved. And it's like I gave up after that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Kyle Katan. That's what it is. Eric comment. We can keep talking about this.
Dennis
Eric,
Leary.
I don't like Dennis Leary.
See, he's way over the top. But there are some bits. That was old school Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
That I was like, damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I'll say too, I may offend some people with this. Some of these old school comics like Richard Pryor, even Bill.
You know, it's too much.
The famous one. What's his name? I
Bill
never
Maher?
thought not Bill Maher. I've never liked. He's just an ass.
Right.
No, what's his name? Bill. God, he was a real famous one. Comic.
Bill Burr.
No, Bill Burr. He's right up there.
It's my favorite.
Bill Burr. Yeah.
Bill Burr is my favorite comic.
Sam. Okay, Eric said Sam Kinison. Never liked Sam Kinison. Too much.
The screaming. I mean, I get it. The cocaine era, and it was fresh and it was new at the time. But anytime I've watched Sam Kinison, I'm like, dude, he's got some funny bits. There's some bits in there that I'm like, hey. But it's just when he's screaming at you, man. Yeah. I'm like, wow. Dude.
That ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so and honestly, too, even
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, well, I can do a Sam guy. Ow!
I mean, that's all you gotta do,
man. You know, he used to be like a Pentecostal preacher.
Really?
Yeah. Not Bill.
That'd be an experience.
Yeah. And then
George, I know you like George Carlin. I got to meet George Carlin. I love George Carlin. And I like putting that in there because when I met George Carlin, he was not the stand-up comedian you know him as.
Yeah.
He was an old grandpa.
Yeah.
Old grandpa in the corner. I'm like, damn, that's George Carlin. Is he all right? That's not who I remember on the DVD.
And see, now I appreciate what George Carlin did, but
it's more of a preacher.
Yeah, it was. It was
like a speech with comedy in it.
Like what's his name? Lewis Black, same thing. Lewis Black, like he had this moment where he was really good, but then it just got into an old guy grumbling about stuff.
Yeah, Lewis Black, same thing. Yeah, Lewis Black would come around here a lot. My brother served him when he was working with Cracker Barrel, and he was everywhere around here.
I interviewed him, and a really good interview, fun interview. But yeah, and then we went and saw him. He was over in Kalamazoo, but again, he kind of lost it. I think with everyone.
Well, hey, it's hard that stand-up comedy is one of the most respectable things. I mean,
it's amazing to me. I want people to truly, and again, with all the comics we say we don't like, I'm not saying I don't have respect for their craft, but to put an hour in an engaging, funny hour together is amazing.
I think it changes you as a person. I think you look at life and other people and your interaction with people after you're a stand-up comedian, you've done it for a while. Yeah. It changes you. You look at and you act differently around things because once you get past that barrier of like, dude, I can stand in front of 1,000 people, make them laugh or not make them laugh, and I'm still okay with it.
Yeah.
Like that's the number one fear. And like, I think anybody, well, just doing a speech in public, but imagine a speech in public, but you got to make them laugh.
It's got to be funny the whole time. It's
got to be funny the whole time. Like the amount of pressure there, if you can get past that and you do that in your life, you are well on your way.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot of things.
It was Bill Hicks, by the way. That's who I couldn't think of. But he's a legend in the comedy world. Yeah.
Who's the one comedian who was, he's got the horseshoe haircut and he's real sad. And he's
Stephen Wright.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephen Wright. And there's another one. There's a Barry something, isn't there?
Actually,
Todd Barry.
Todd Barry's. Yeah.
Todd Barry.
Yeah. There's so many good ones out there. Yeah.
Can we just mention one of the legends too? Nobody's mentioned yet. Come on, guys. Actually, I did mention it earlier. Chappelle.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle. I mean, he's up there. Bill Burr's one of my favorites. Dave Chappelle's one of my favorites.
George
Eddie
Lopez.
Eddie Murphy. George Lopez was good for a while. Again, I kind of,
I watched a couple specials of, and I'm still like, I mean, I see why people, because back in the day, it's a thing of your time. Richard Pryor.
I never got into Richard.
There were some bits where I'm like, yeah, it's pretty funny. That's pretty good, but not gut wrenching to me.
No.
I'm just like,
that's how I am with a lot of the classic comedians.
Yeah.
It was different. I think it was a
different time
style. Because like I'll watch old Johnny Carson bits, and there are very few comics where
Johnny Carson's funny.
Johnny Carson was amazing, but like he
His
had
own way.
stand-ups on all the time. I know we got to get to Morning Dump, but I love this because comedy. I love stand-up comedy, but I watch a lot of those old Johnny Carson bits and the comedians he had on there, and very few of them I like. Oh my god! You know, you had like Jay Leno. I'm sorry, his stand-up wasn't that good.
I mean, it was just kind of jokes. He was just kind of telling jokes, really.
Rodney Dangerfield. I love Rodney Dangerfield though. I think his is just gut-wrenchingly funny.
Rodney Dangerfield said the way he puts together sentences and the way he can just I mean, I sit there and watch it. I'm still thinking about the joke like 3 jokes ago as he's still going. It's hard to keep up with Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Even just sitting there listening, like your mind.
That's why Dangerfield was always great when he was on the couch and he was just talking because it was a slower build up to the punchline. And so you just like, oh my God, it just killed me. Yeah.
How about this one? The best comedian that's not a stand-up comedian, Chris Farley.
Yeah, he never did stand-up.
But probably the funniest guy ever to me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird and wild?
That would be another good conversation to have. Like, who's the funniest non-stand-up? Because there's a lot of.
I don't think Chris Farley. I mean, it's hard to imagine, but do you think he would be a good stand-up? I don't think so.
Probably not. No, probably not. Because his was a lot of physical humor.
It is improv,
and it was how he. But actually, he did improv though. He did improv, but that was all sketch. That was all sketch.
Improv. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. So, anyway. Well, we could have this conversation forever. I think we've been talking.
Gabriel Iglesias, fluffy.
I don't like Gabriel Iglesias.
When I first saw him, gut-wrenching.
But then it was kind of the same thing. That's what Gaffigan's running into now. It's like it was killer, but then now Gabriel Iglesias, he'll do the high little voice and then he'll make a joke about
his roller coaster joke in his first special. I was dying when they got the one click in the click. Oh my God.
Yeah. I will say to wrap this up, I think new comedians right now or people that are kind of fresher on the scene, Nate Bargatze has me rolling most days. I really like him. If you haven't checked him out, Shane Gillis is really good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of this.
Who was the guy that died? It was always doing the roast. Jeff Ross is still alive, but it was what was his name?
Oh,
dark hair. He was like the best roaster ever.
Yeah. But again, though, like I also got kind of burnt out on the roast because it's like, I mean, some of the stuff was just like,
damn, dude.
Greg Giraldo. That's who you're thinking of. Greg Giraldo. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, man. We just named off like the list of comedians, I think.
Yeah. There's a couple new ones. That Mark Norman's pretty funny. He's got a very kind of dry Seinfeld-esque one.
David Adler said Andrew Dice Clay.
No, I'm sorry. It's not there. It's not there for me. It's not there for me.
It's more of like a shtick.
Yeah,
it is. I don't like shticks as much. That's why I think I love Bill Burr so much because he's just an angry dude. Bill Burr. That's what you're getting. You're getting Bill Burr in his mind and what he sits down and thinks about.
If Bill Burr wasn't funny about it, he would just be like the worst human being in the world. But because he's funny and he just is there and saying what is on people's minds. Like when I said there's not as many funny female comedians, right? Everyone gets upset. But it's true. But it's funny. It's funny.
Bill Burr's first Netflix special when he's talking about punching the muffins.
Yeah,
might be the funniest stand-up bit I have ever heard in my life.
It was a bit about
I left the room. I ran out of the room. I was dying.
The
looking at that lady punching the muffins.
The DVD, the DVD one is great. Or him talking about the fat person scratching their back on the pillar at the airport.
Oh God!
And using the McDonald's wrapper, the bag as a napkin. Oh, dude, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I know we got to get to Morning Dump. This is a fun conversation. Ben said, "Crazy, you don't have any favorite female comedians." Taylor Tomlinson, Catherine Ryan.
Both good. I like Taylor.
Taylor's really good. Catherine Ryan, I'm not from. Ali Wong, I'm sorry. It's too shticky. It's too.
I don't know Ali Wong.
She's actually, I think she's engaged right now to Bill Hader, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Again, she just relies too much on just the vagina comedy, is what I call it. It's like she's a good looking female, and so she can joke about sex and liking sex, and I don't know. It's again, I'm not a female though, so I don't lean towards it.
All right, I'm going to lead you away from the female comedians again real quick. To end this conversation, what's your opinion on the biggest upcoming comic right now that everybody loves? And you know who I'm going to say? Matt Rife.
No, he's on his way out. He made that
way out.
He made that domestic violence joke, and everyone just panned him. He's
really
he had that special.
Was that recent?
Yeah, that was his Netflix special, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's done." When's the last thing new you've seen from him? I know he's still making his rounds, but no, dude, he made that. Look up the Matt Rife domestic violence joke.
I didn't know that.
And it's not a good joke. He was trying to be edgy, and it fell flat on, it fell flat on his face, and everyone was like, "What the hell, man?" And it's not like a horror. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a domestic violence joke, but it just
that's wild how that can happen, man.
He did it too soon in his career.
Yeah, that's what's weird about comedy. It's like, hey, bring us to the edge, but if you so as much step over that one time, you're done. But hey, we want you right there. We want you right there on that line.
And here's the thing: he was still too new, and honestly, he's too good looking to make that joke. Like a good looking guy can't make that joke, right? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, this was a fun conversation. This is one we can do later, but we got to keep things moving. At 7:30, it's time for your.
There will be no music this hour.
No, none. As always, your morning dump brought to you by Pump
That
Septic. Clean your septic today with Pump That Septic. Call them 269-445-7777. Or visit pumpthatseptic.com. Yeah, pump it. Oh, pump it. He pump it. I'll keep this short and sweet. First story. It's always fun to talk about Sylvester Stallone, especially when you can do this. He got punched in the face by Von Drago. Apparently, he's been accused of creating a toxic environment on the set of his Paramount Plus show, Tulsa King. Apparently, Sly is complained about extras being, quote, effing ugly.
Oh, boy.
He would also call people names and laugh at them. Things like tub of lard and fat guy with the cane. He's also been quoted as saying he wants pretty young girls to be around him instead.
You gotta be careful. Don't
now,
go there, Sly. Come on.
Before we get mad at boxing,
don't ruin your years of stardom.
According to the director of Tulsa King, he's denied that Sly has insulted anyone. Also, Sly says Sly never asked for pretty girls around him because his wife Jennifer has been around the whole time. So we got conflicting stories. Is Sly a dick? Is he not a dick?
Usually when somebody says something like that, it means, yeah, he did say that. I mean, I'm not saying he did, but there's a reason it's a story, right?
Right. Now, maybe he was just, hey, I'm just joking around. I'm just having a little fun. Oh, Adrian.
I mean, it's Sly. You got to be careful. All right. And here's why. Dude, look at the mirror, man. I mean, I get it. You've done a lot, and you've done a lot of steroids. You've done a lot of movies. But dude, his face looks like it's just like. I mean, how much more Botox can you push into that skull of yours, man? Like,
it's like Droopy Dog got Botox done. All right.
Here's the thing. You know when people get Botox up here, and then their eyebrows start doing the weird, like, it's like they're getting pulled back by some strings, and they're trying to, like, that's what he's got going on. It's like your face is trying to fall off your skull, but then you got something going on up here that's pulling it back up, and like, just don't know with my face. I don't know what to do with my face.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's only a point in the human body, all right, where you can stretch the skin naturally. Okay,
but it's starting to look bad, you know,
especially when you're wrinkly all everywhere else, but then your face is smooth. Do I look beautiful? Do you love me?
You look like a catfish. Look at you.
Love me? Am I beautiful?
You know, it looks like the Men in Black guy. Is this better?
The human skin only stretches so much naturally. Like even me, like, I mean, there's only so much I could do where it wouldn't look weird. All right. So just, if you're getting work done, just know there's a point where you can't do it anymore. So yeah.
And you know what? Another thing. then I'm starting to be like, dude, why do you guys do that to yourselves?
Yeah.
It's the older guy I used to take steroids look.
Yeah.
Where it's like the big chest, and a lot of times it's like separated in the middle from taking so many steroids.
Yep.
And then you got like the beer gut that has like an 8-pack on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that pushed out, like,
yep.
What is that? It's like you definitely took steroids. There's a lot of WWF wrestlers that look like that.
Well, your muscles aren't like they used to be, and that's fine. You're aging, but you can't. I mean, man, you can only do so much with
somebody should have said something to the 80s and been like, it's okay to age. You know?
Now we got more cameras on us than ever. And so everyone's like, I gotta look good for the camera.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, hey. Oh.
I mean, I don't have room to talk. I guess I am the guy going tanning in this situation. I look like a tomato. Look at me.
Well, no, part of you looks like it. You do. You got to stop. You got to take a break. You're getting addicted, Hunter. You're getting addicted. You're gonna look like a leather bag. You're gonna look like a leather bag. Hey, got any more of that tanning bed? Yeah. Anyway, so is Sly a dick or is he not? We don't know yet. But hey, looks like he's in a wind tunnel right now.
Hey you.
Hey yo,
Adrian.
Yo, Adrian. You like my face? Lastly, we'll do this real quick because road trip season is upon us. Holiday.
I do play that song anytime we're on a road trip.
Holiday.
And it's funny. Every time I do it, I kind of like, who's going to mention it first?
Holiday.
Is this a song from? Yes, it is. It is.
The average person has been on 16 road trips in their lives. Here are the 5 best parts of a road trip, according to a recent poll. Number 1, seeing new landscape and scenery, doing a little sightseeing, which also is, I think, something that we have lost in this new generation, because every time I pass someone on the road who's in the passenger seat, they're on their phone. They're on their phone. They don't see it. That's why, honestly, sometimes I get frustrated driving with people and I'm like, oh, look at that. Because while I'm driving, I'm noticing everything. Everyone else is in their phones. No one's seeing all the cool stuff. You're missing all the scenery.
Yeah, right.
Number 2, listening to the radio. So hey, we're still relevant. Number 3, getting a break from your routine. Number 4, you really just like driving. And number 5 is a tie between trying local food along the way and getting to your destination. So
I enjoy road trips. I really do.
I love them. I love them.
Yeah, you are too. You're a big road trip guy.
Yep.
Hey, so she brought it up recently. Would you be mad if I took this show on the road for like 3 days coming up in like the next month or 2?
No.
You wouldn't give me mad?
As long as you do. No, who cares? If
I show up and I'm here and doing
work and you have a good connection. Now, if you have a crappy connection,
you're going to be pissed.
It's buffering and everything, then I will be pissed.
Holiday.
Go through a tunnel. Yeah.
She brought that up last night. She's like, could you do that on the road? Because I'm thinking about going on like a little road trip somewhere. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty fun. We don't have an RV or anything, we don't have the big, Winnebago, but anytime I see one passing, I'm always like, God, I want one of those so bad.
Yeah, I love it. If I could live in my camper full time, I would. I keep trying to tell Kiki that. I'm like, why don't we just sell everything? Get a nice big truck. And
why? Because they smell a certain way after a while.
Not if you clean them right.
I swear, every RV or camper that I've been in, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a camper. It's that smell.
Well, it's on the road, or if it's been sitting for a while, they can get a little musty.
It's like the toilet in there or something. I don't know what it is, but
yeah. Well, yeah, you got your waste bucket underneath you. You know what I mean? You got that right there. So it's got a more unique smell. But
no, it's full.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go dump that thing out. But I love road trips. I think it's one of the greatest things. I can't wait until Riley's a little bit older, when it just makes more sense for us to hit the road and do stuff, because now it's kind of lost on her.
Miserable for you. Dad, are we there yet? Are we there? Can you pull over? I gotta go to the bathroom, Daddy.
Oh,
Daddy!
Truck tire. Anyway,
that was me growing up.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. No wonder your folks never take you more road
2 trips to Florida, and for a reason. Only 2 for a reason.
I would have left you halfway.
Dad.
I would have left you halfway between Michigan and Florida, right? Just right there to roadside truck stop. Get out. Get out. I would have Joe Dirted you. Oh, that's where we left you. We looked around. All right. That's your morning dump. We'll be back.
Come on. Damn it. I'll be right back. How much time you got? I'll be right back.
Good morning to everyone. If we haven't gotten to you, I know our conversation went very long. I'm excited to see how long that one was.
Hey.
I mean, obviously we'll get right into sports. It's already 7:40, so we gotta keep sports kind of.
I'll just rip that golf thing real quick. That's
Okay.
all we'll get. Masters week. Got it here on my phone. I think I sent it to you, right? Yeah. Wow, this is long though.
All right. Oh, shoot. All right, here we go. All righty. Good morning. 7:41. It's Brock. It's Hunter.
Focus.
Focus. All right. We got to focus.
Hear the bell?
Yep.
Focus.
Ding, ding. I didn't hear no bell. I'm gonna do my Stallone.
Get out of the plane slide.
Hey.
You're not just because you're an actor.
Hey,
Only Tom Cruise can do that.
I didn't hear no bell. Anyway, all right, let's do it. Sports. As always, sports brought to you by Bud Distributing.
Hey, Bud.
Bud Distributing getting you stocked up with delicious Bud Light, tall, cool Budweiser's, other great drinks. So get stocked up. As always, remember to drink wiser.
That's right. A lot of buds being drank on the golf course. That's going to be happening here soon a lot, man. Hey, it's Masters Week. And this is a post from Reddit that I kind of want to go through. And this is a guy who has been to the Masters, he says like 7 or 8 years in a row or whatever. He's basically he's a regular, which is wild, Brock, because do you know how hard it is to get a ticket to the Masters?
Probably pretty hard unless you're rich. You know, if you're rich,
I don't even think, how rich?
Like the people that get to go to the Super Bowl all the time.
Way easier to go to the Super Bowl than the Masters. You have to be invited.
Everyone's invited to the Masters.
Unless you're a member of the club.
Every single person that is watching the Masters on the course,
I believe so.
I think you're incorrect on that, but
not incorrect. So to go to the Masters and have a Masters ticket, here, look this up while I go through this a little bit. You have to apply, and they choose you. And if you get chosen, you get it for like a year or something, like the 1 year. Dude, I'm serious. It is like getting into the president's bunker to go watch this match. It's craziness. And I think you'll start to understand what the Masters is kind of like. This guy explaining for people going to the Masters for the first time. So he says, I'm a veteran, blah, blah, blah. Here's some tips if you're going to the Masters. And it is Masters week this week. And we'll probably be talking a little bit more about it. But listen to this, man. Number one tip. Someone hasn't been there the past 2 or 3 years. Do not let them give you any advice on parking. Don't listen to anything except for course layout. It changes every single year. So when you go to Augusta, apparently they're trying to buy everything around it. So much so that people pay their yearly mortgage that live by the course by Airbnb in their house. Yeah. That's for real. They're yearly, not monthly, yearly mortgage. That's how much money is around this course. Tip number 2, pro shops and going to the main gate at the pro shop do not have the biggest selection. It's false. The South Gate has the biggest selection. In this gear at the Masters gear that you buy is incredibly expensive, Brock. Like a polo t-shirt, like $200 probably.
Yeah.
Well, and it has one little logo on it. It says Masters and it's green. That's it.
It's like when I bought that Van Halen tour T-shirt when we went and saw him. I'm like $80 for this T-shirt. Okay, great.
Listen to this one. Bring your own chair. False. Don't bring your own chair unless your chair is labeled Masters. Save the luggage space for some hand warmers, blah, 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 blah. Just go buy one that says Masters on it for $35. It's a tiny little chair. And, dude, they're all like, if it says Masters on it anywhere and they know you bought it inside the grounds, you're good. You're good to go. Otherwise, they're going to kick you out. Backpacks. Just buy one that says Masters on it for, I think, like $100. And it's one of those little like drawstring bags, right? Number 6, no one will touch your chair, which is true. It's just resounding true. He says, if you put one of your little chairs down in your position, it's like people respect it. It's weird. You bought the chair there. Even the guys on the course will vouch for you. Cutting in line. This one was interesting. If you cut in line anywhere, guaranteed boot. You're out. You're never invited again. And not only will like the guys working there call you out, everybody on the course will as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a lot of what's like the unspoken rules, like rules of the area. Like, hey, if you play by the rules, you'll be fine. You know what I mean?
This one I thought was very interesting. Cell phones and smartwatches, an absolute no. Don't even try it, especially smartwatches, I heard, with data. He said he saw a guy pulled from number 16 after looking at his watch and providing score updates to other patrons next to him. Never saw the guy again.
That's kind of stupid.
What?
That's kind of stupid.
So you can't have your phone? I guess you can't. Are you sure? So you can't record anything? You can't.
Okay, so I'm not trying to call you out or this guy out, but I don't know if everything he's saying is legit, because now, as far as getting the tickets, they're actually, it says here, I read this, Masters tickets are considered the second hardest to obtain in sports, trailing only the Super Bowl. Tickets or badges are cheap. Now, the problem is it's a high demand with only a limited supply.
Right.
So you could, if you're lucky enough to be a patron or win the annual lottery, so they lottery these out.
Yeah,
so
that's what they call it, the lottery,
the
Masters lottery.
So there's it's not like, oh, no, only certain. It's just there's so much demand for it that it's hard to get them. But you can find
much like the Super Bowl. Everybody buys them up and sells them for.
Exactly. Or it's just, there's only so many seats. There's only so many spots you can go. But you can't.
I know a few
has phones. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. So look up a Masters picture, though. Look up like last year's Masters, just and see if you see anybody like this.
Picture,
because that would be interesting.
So I could see them saying that, like, look, if you're here, you can't have your whole, because they want nice, aesthetically pleasing photos.
So think about this. Think about this. How many different views have you seen of that famous shot with Tiger Woods where he chips the ball in where the Nike sign goes up?
Yep.
Only like 2. Right? Or am I wrong? I think I'm right. I've only seen 2 different views of that shot. Are cell phones prohibited at the Masters?
So, okay, here's one. I mean, I don't see any phones here in this photo.
Wow. That's wild.
I mean, in the few photos, like here's one from 2022, and you got Rory, up like this, and the people behind, I don't see any.
Not one cell phone.
It's not a lot of people. I'm trying to find like a really good one.
Yeah, like a backdrop of a gallery.
Masters 23. Yeah,
no cell phones.
I don't see any cell phones in there.
That's wild. They have so much power, and you know what? There's so much demand for that ticket that even as much as we do this all the time, where it's just natural to pull out of your pocket, that people are like, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to get kicked out because I know I'm probably never going to come back to this.
Yeah, that's probably a good way. And hey, honestly, I'm fine with that. It makes people in the moment. And I mean, they have every right to say no. I mean, obviously they're not taking it from you, but hey, keep it in your pocket,
Anyway, Masters Week, man. Leave your cell phone in your pocket if you're going, which I do know a few people that have been to the Masters. A couple of my buddies' dads have gone. And I'm like, are you rich? What happened? How'd you get there? He's like, no, the company you work for. That's the key. You got to work for a company that loves golf.
Yeah. And get in there. You know what I do like, though? I like that it says the tickets are cheap. I like that because you know what? F you, Super Bowl, for making it what?
And basically any other sporting event that's professional. That is wild. Dude, they haven't changed the concession at the Masters. I think like a hot dog is like $2.
Right. It's still the same, which that's how it should be.
Yes.
Yeah. And it seems a little snooty for sure, but hey, it's the Masters. It's a long storied history.
I don't think you understand how snooty.
Oh,
like golf is snooty. Like some golf is snooty. It's getting better, you know, as time goes on. But dude, this is a different level.
Is there a dress code for people?
Oh yeah. That's another thing this guy says. He's like, forget about wearing jeans. Wear jeans, you're just gonna be stared at the whole time. He's like, wear your best golf attire. Don't do that. Don't wear jeans. Dress up. It's kind of like the Kentucky Derby.
What about one of those beer dispensing helmets? What about one of those?
Nope. You would not make, dude. There are guys. This is how snooty and pristine. There's guys with scissors trimming the fairways, trimming the rough.
Bet you there's some trimmed rough around there too. All those golfers.
But think about that. That's how pristine this course is.
Yeah.
Brock, you would go there if you walked into Augusta and you'd be like, "This is like Narnia."
I'd hate it. I can already describing it. I like golf and I'd be cool to see all the pros, but the people around would make it unbearable. Like they would make it. I'd be like, this is the worst. This is the worst.
You're more of a Riders Cup kind of a guy.
I'm more of a Plan B morning
Riders Cup, right? They just tossing beer everywhere.
I'm more of a Plan B morning show, subpar classic kind of guy. Right? That's what I am. So,
and the 8-iron kind of a guy.
Your brother said cell phones must be left in the car.
Wow.
Okay, no, that's fine. That seems a little. What if there's an emergency? What if there's that I just don't like. I just
better
don't
not be an emergency during the Masters.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like for me, I'd be like, no, I'm not leaving it in the car. But you probably get patted down and everything. But seriously though, what if there's an emergency? What if my wife needs to get a hold of me? That's a little much. That's a little much.
She's gonna die. It's the Masters. Nobody cares.
Your wife's dead, sir.
Yeah. Right. We got golf to play.
Yeah.
Sorry for your luck.
Yep. She's dead.
What? Jeez, man, could you have breaking it to me a little easier? Like, just enjoying my time out here. It's a nice course.
God, did she have to die only on the first round? This is terrible. A lot of golf left. She couldn't wait till the end of the term. That dumb bitch. Anyway, sports brought to you by Bud Distributing.
Hey, Bud.
We'll be back. She died on the first hole. Ridiculous.
What's the topic?
What have you managed to avoid your whole life?
Going to the Masters.
Oh, you know what? So CJ, yes. So it must be left in the car. Eric before that had a good point. Imagine if someone in the gallery's cell went off on a match-winning putt. I could see. Okay, that makes sense then. Why they need to stay in the car, but
well, I mean, it's not like that in every tournament, though.
No, for sure.
Senior PGA, everybody has their phones out. Every other golf tournament, you see phones out, so it's not like just keep that thing on vibrate. You don't want to be that guy in the crowd. Everybody next to you.
Whose phone is not on vibrate nowadays? Like I'm more annoyed about that. Like, wait, you don't have your phone on vibrate?
Sometimes when I turn the volume up on my phone, it'll like be on the lock screen and I'll end up turning the call volume up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dude, my ringer's so loud. It'll scare me sometimes. Like, I'm not used to that.
Like, I'm mad when someone's phone goes off. All right. It's like, it's 2024. Everything should be on vibrate. All right. Ridiculous.
Hey, okay. You had an opportunity to go to the Masters. It's going to cost you $200 for the ticket, though. Are you going?
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Absolutely.
I mean, for me, like, okay, for the sake of the
non-golfer over here,
that's a little steep for me, but that's a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
When what? The base ticket at the Super Bowl is what, $6,000?
Yeah, geez.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
I've heard of people paying $1,000 for their Masters ticket, I think, right?
For what?
For their Masters ticket.
I'm sure people have,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Real quick, before I get into the topic, how do you think Tiger will do in the Masters this year? Just take a guess.
I didn't think he was playing.
He's playing.
I feel like it's going to be like the last few where
He's going to start limping the second day again, isn't he?
Dude, it's so much. It's not like it was a decade ago that he shattered his leg.
His leg was ground meat. Now he's got to walk for 4 days. I mean, damn, it's tough.
I wish you would John Daly and get a fucking cart. Come on.
Yeah. Do it. And then just smoke everybody.
Yeah, he's just full rested. Like, this is
right. Every shot.
It's unbelievable. All right, here we go. Well, good morning. 7:55.
Yeah, right. We're going to the 8 o'clock today, man.
Yeah, just we're a little late there, fellas. That's all right.
That's a Kathy's chatting.
Yeah, real chatty group of Kathys over here. Which, by the way, we love our Kathy. She's fantastic. But it's kind of a for anyone Kathy out there. It's like they feel like they need to be quiet now. Like, well,
yeah, right.
I'm sorry, I wanted to say hi. Oh, you chatty Kathy, what are you doing? Anyway, it is time for your topic of the day. Let's get right into it. And I'm surprised we got as many comments as we did on this one because I like Tony's first answer. He said, I'm afraid to answer. I might jinx myself. What have you managed to avoid your whole life?
I said that yesterday when we came up with the topic. I'm like, dude, there's gonna be a lot of knocking on wood tomorrow.
Yeah, jinx myself there. Yeah. So I mean, if you want, you can start. Otherwise, I have mine, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm not really that concerned about it. I know, knock on wood, but I've avoided breaking a bone my whole life. I've never broken a bone. And you know why I'm not as worried about that, Hunter? Because I'm not also doing these things like riding a BMX bike or skateboarding or playing.
The scary thing though is like sometimes you don't even have to do that though.
For sure.
It's like the random step that you missed.
I'm getting older. I'm sure my bones are not what they were, but I'm not putting myself as I know. Yeah, I could be like that old guy. Grandpa just slips on a step and
boom. Why'd you say that?
I also do have very thick bones. I'm very dense.
Yeah, drank. I did too. I drink a lot of milk. If that's the thing, drink a lot of milk, make strong bones. I did drink a lot of milk.
He loved cheese.
I'll tell you what, I almost did the other day. I was dragging the chair on the front porch, and it's pretty narrow. And I stepped where the step starts, and I didn't know it was there. Dude, the most athletic thing I have done in years. I caught myself somehow. I did like a double spin back roll onto the. It was wild. I got up and looked around. I'm like, anybody see that?
Triple sow cow backflip, double bar.
Dude, 3 more years, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I'm turning to dust. I'm serious. It was 5 steps down, dude, that I found myself somehow. Wild. But hey, I don't even want to say it.
Yeah,
we're similar.
Yeah, you say it. Never broken. Hunter, hey, anybody?
Don't look up and say that. I know.
Hey, God.
Hey, God.
Hunter. No. So I'm happy about that. You know, another one for me. I managed to avoid my whole life. Never got COVID. I know that's not been my whole life, but hey, at this point, haven't gotten COVID yet.
Yeah, I can't say that one.
No,
that's for sure. Yeah, maybe you did. You're already gravelly enough, or you didn't even notice.
Didn't notice, or maybe I was. Well, no, actually, because the last time when I did the full checkup, I didn't have any of the antibodies or whatever the proteins or whatever they look for. So I honestly don't think I've got it. But also, I avoid people. All right, I do. I don't go. I don't like to go see people all that often. And so yeah.
You know what one for me is? Knock on wood.
Hey, God.
Debt.
Yeah.
I've always managed to just try to pay for cash with everything. In cash, I mean, I put cash on a card, but
You've managed to avoid a credit score. That's
hey, here's your cash. I don't know, man. I've never had the student debt, the student loan debt, bought the car, never had real car payments. I don't know. The debt is, and I get why people do the credit card, and you should, honestly, for some people, but that's a weird kind of a thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you do it the right way, credit's a great thing. The right way,
right way.
Taking money out to pay for something is good if you do it right. But if you just swipe, or not paying attention to it, it can be very bad with anything in life.
Yeah,
with anything in life, you can be dumb with it, right? For sure. But
I ain't saying I'm rich. I'm just saying I know when I get on Amazon and I check the bank, I'm like, I compare the two, and I'm like, I got that mortgage coming up, right? I got that money. I can't do that right now.
Technically, you don't owe anybody anything, so that's good. That's good. No. Not a lot of people can't say that nowadays.
Actually, no. If Family Video calls me from Stevensville, I still have Pet Cemetery from like 1991.
I want to see that late fee. I want to see that late fee. That is.
You can reopen the store by one return.
Good news. Thankfully, all the video stores have closed. What a garbage thing that was.
That was a day for me. I'm debt free.
I just got a free movie. We got some answers here on Facebook. What have you managed to avoid your whole life? Matt had a good one. Any major surgeries or diseases? I up until my colonoscopy, same thing, which that wasn't a major surgery by any means, but I've never had like any kind of crazy surgery or any kind of crazy disease.
That's a good one. Hey, hold on to that one. Health is probably the best thing to.
Yeah. That's why I said I'm not going to age gracefully. Like same thing that's just what's happened this past year in my weird booty hole infection and then all the colonoscopy. It was hard for me because I was telling the doctor, I'm like, I've never been in a hospital gown in my life up until that point. And that was
I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good.
I think that's very good. That means I've been healthy. I've never had to go
because it's all building up, and then you're going to get the big one at the end.
Just one big one. That's it.
One big one. It's like saving up for the knockout punch. You went 12 rounds, but got knocked out in the 12th.
And it was the worst one. Like I'm all money. And then Mike. Actually, no. Here's what it is. All right, I'm fighting some tiny little like weak guy. All right, beating him up, and then all of a sudden Mike Tyson comes in. When I'm a little more tired after punching this other little guy, and he's fresh, and he just knocks my head off my body. We got some more answers here. I like Robert's answer. He said non-consensual handcuffs.
Yeah.
Never been arrested. That's good. He's never had
been arrested.
Ones. I like that.
God, I want to, all these answers that I like, well, me too. I don't want to say.
Yeah.
You've seen the amount, I've talked about this, you've seen the amount of cops around, not saying that they're going to pull me over and arrest me, but
throw you behind bars or anything. But I've never been arrested. I've avoided that my whole life.
You ever been in cuffs?
No, not for any legal reasons. I've never gotten to the point where I've been in enough trouble where they've detained me.
So I've been pulled out of the car and I had to sit on the hood of my car while he rummages through my car.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Or sat on his car, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But never put me in cuffs.
Yeah, I've never been like in the back of a cop car for legal reasons. So
I've been in the back of a cop car.
Yeah.
But I didn't go anywhere.
What a troublemaker. God,
I ended up back into my car driving away, but
Whitney, this is a good one. But probably shouldn't have said it. She's never hit a deer. Gone her whole life without hitting a deer.
Why'd you say that? You were gonna smoke a deer today.
You know what? Bambi's mom is dead this afternoon.
I mean, don't say that. Deers love. There's gonna be a deer today. Like, wait, is that her? I think that's her. Is that the white? That's the white Honda.
Get her
in front of it.
Get her.
All right. What is it with deer and just?
So I have. Well, technically, the deer hit me. It ran into the side of my car, so I don't know if that counts. Does that count?
Yeah. Because
it's not like I hit it head on. No, the deer off of my car. So I don't know if
because cars haven't been around long enough for the deer to evolve to like finally realize they're like, dude, those are heavy. and they don't budge when they hit us.
Yeah,
we end up going flying in the air.
Or maybe the fact that like in most like country settings where you're more likely to do it, the cars are sporadic. So when one does come, they're like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's like getting a hot potato.
Yeah, because here's why I'll put a hole in that theory, Hunters, because Blaze Orange hasn't been around that long. All right. And they know exactly when I'm coming now. So yeah. Yeah. They've avoided my gun for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got some more answers here. I like Alan's answer. He said he's a hole in one he's avoided his whole life. That's it.
Hey, me too. Right there with you.
Oh, but maybe he jinxed himself and now he'll get one.
Dude, there was a guy the other day who was an older gentleman. You know, watched him tee up the first tee, and he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great.
Yeah.
And we were talking before. He's like, yeah, I got 8 hole-in-ones.
No, he didn't.
8 hole-in-ones?
I don't believe that guy.
Tiger's got like 20.
I don't believe that guy.
8 hole-in-ones?
I don't believe him one bit.
Or 8 holes in one? We had this conversation.
8 holes in ones.
8 hole-in-ones.
8 holes in ones. Because the hole is...
No, it'd be 8 hole-in-ones because it's individual, not 8 holes in one.
No, in ones. Holes in ones. That would be the right way to say it, right? Because it's 8 individual holes and holes in... It's a hole in one. So
I don't think so. I think it's 8
holes in ones.
It's 8 hole in ones.
No, you're
because the hole in one is the phrase itself. Hole in one. Now I got 8 of them. So put them together. 8 hole in ones.
No, because it's still 8 individual holes. So it's 8 holes in ones. That would be the right way to say it.
I don't think so.
I got 8 holes in. No, it'd be 8 holes in one. Right?
I don't know.
No. 8 holes in one. Is there anybody?
No, because that would be 8 holes in one shot. I'm right. 8 hole in ones.
Okay, fine. Well, either way, we have 0 holes in ones. All right, whatever. However you say it.
However you say it. It's still a goose egg.
It's a goose egg. All right.
A goose egg.
Holes in oneses. That's what.
Damn it! Come on, just one.
Yeah. If anybody's a grammar teacher out there, you can help us out with that. We'd appreciate it. I feel dumber now. We got some more answers here. I want to go through this. This might be one that we can do again because there's a lot of great answers. Homer said watching Survivor, American Idol, or Harry Potter. Yeah, I've avoided watching Breaking Bad my whole life. So
say those again.
He's avoided watching Survivor or American Idol or Harry Potter.
Oh, that's hard to survive.
You'll like this one. Todd's answer. He's avoided sushi his whole life.
No, I've tried it.
You've tried it, yeah.
But that's it. I tried it once, twice maybe. I tried it.
Barbie said jail. Cassie had a good one. Jury duty. I've never had jury duty. I've never even been summoned. Knock on wood.
So I got summoned. I was the first one out. It was a marijuana case. He's like, "You're out," which is wild. I'm like, dude, do I look like a hippie?
You didn't even get to sit down. You just walked in. Judge like, nope, leave.
What? What is that?
His eyes. He's stoned right now.
I was born this way. Come on, Jim Brewer was born the way he looks.
Just immediately. No, he's. Clearly,
that's no joke. I was the first one out. It was like the other lawyer was like, "Dude, that guy's out. Get him out of here."
That's funny. That's funny.
I kind of wanted to do it too. I didn't want to do it, but then I got into it. You know, the first day, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting, honestly.
Well, hey, everyone should. I'm glad I've avoided it because it seems like a hassle for me, for a guy who doesn't like to do things. But it's our civic duty. Think about that. Otherwise, you know what? We got a Putin that just comes up and has a guy shoot you if he doesn't like what you said. We have the freedom, or what we have the privilege of being the right to be judged by our peers. However, though, there is a little caveat to that. Usually it's a bunch of idiots who didn't know a good enough excuse to get out of jury duty. So I don't know if you want to be judged by those people, but hey, it'd be cool to be on like a murder case or something, wouldn't it?
I know somebody who was, and honestly, from what I gathered from it, they were saying it was cool at first, but then it got pretty intense.
Pretty intense. Well, then
whereas to a point where you're like, man, I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to be on this one.
That's and it's
because if it's close, if it's not obviously one way,
yeah,
think about that.
Yeah,
somebody else's life is in basically your hands.
I hope I'm on your murder trial. You're getting the chair, buddy boy.
Yeah.
No, Brock can't be on this. Brock can't be on this. I know him.
They're putting the helmet on me. I'm like, Brock, is that you? It's got popcorn.
I did it. You're dead. Terrible. Bones was a big one. John said kidney stones. Trisha said she's never gotten electrocuted. Larry said an STD. Wish I could join you on that one, Larry. There's some good ones on it. I like this. You know what? We'll do this one another day because there's a lot of good answers. This is what did you like that? That was Hey,
Jesus, man, no pause in that answer.
Make it the same. Am I right? Riddled with them. All right, we got to take a break. More to come. It's the Plan B Morning Show. Stick around.
This guy.
What
is that shirt?
This is my legendary whitetail sweatshirt my mom got me for Christmas a couple years ago.
Is that a deer on there?
Yeah, it's just a deer head.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
Then look, cool camo. Can't see this part of my arm, can you? Anyway,
it's like you're armless. You're armless.
Sorry if I missed anybody. Have a great day. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right.